and welcome to the channel Crossing the Spiritual Streams. My name is Sandra, and today we're going to do a Tarot Pick-a-Pile card reading for Aries for the coming year of 2021. So, I don't like to do an astrological reading without giving you choices to pick from on piles, because every Aries is different from every other, because there's other planets involved in your horoscope that will change up your energies and other things that are going on in your life at any specific time. So I like to give you a choice. That way we can kind of divide you guys up just a little bit. This is for your sun, moon, and or rising signs. So if you know your Aries is your sun is in Aries, but your moon is in Gemini, or your ascendant is in Virgo, you might want to watch those other videos as well. That kind of thing. There will be all 12 zodiac signs, so you can pick, and then that way the energies that might be for all three, or certain messages that come out in two or three of those, might pertain to you even more so, or even be more of a specific message for you that way. If you're unfamiliar with pick-a-pile readings, basically you go through and you figure out which pile is drawing you in the most, whichever one your gut instinct is drawing you towards and telling you you should watch. It is possible to be drawn to more than one pile, so you may feel like you want to watch more than one pile. And if that is the case, you are welcome to do so, because there might be some extra messages or some extra things there that you want to look at, or something that might resonate specifically with you if that is the case. And like I said, I would check out the other videos that pertain to your rising and moon signs as well, because sometimes those actually have more of an influence on what might be coming forward in our life than even our sun sign might do. Okay, we will be having timestamps listed in the description to show you where your pile starts, so that you can go directly there. But basically, this is pile 1, and it has a red stone on it. This is pile 2, and it has a yellow stone. And this is pile 3, which has a blue stone. You can pick whichever stone you're drawn to the most, or whichever pile you're kind of drawn to. It's not a good idea to go with visual, though. It's more, like I said, a gut instinct, or how your gut is sending you to. I would like to invite you all to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and to hit the bell icon. That way you can be notified of future videos when they come out. Okay, we're going to give you a moment or so to reflect on the piles, and then we will see you at your reading. Okay, pile 1, here we go with your reading. Those of you that chose the red stone, remember, this is kind of what you can expect for the year 2021, what kind of energies, what kind of things might you be dealing with or be looking out for. We've got several tarot cards here to look at. We also have the Black Moon Astrology card here that was on each deck. We're going to pull some charms a little later. And we also have our Oracle Spheres, which basically will be giving you an option of asking a question that you can get an answer to. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, we got your Black Moon Astrology card. Since this is for an astrology reading, we're going to go ahead and maybe get some general energies that are involved here. We have number 22, which is Capricorn, I use. Now that's pretty cool, because 22 are they're kind of master builders, which means that might be something, you might be building something throughout this time. And I'm going to go ahead and look at the booklet here, because the booklet says quite a bit about each card, and I want to make sure you get the full message here. Okay, Capricorn, I use time, the corrector when our judgments err. That was a Lord Byron said that. It is time to focus on your objectives and not let up. Ruled by Saturn, the planet of hard luck, the sign of Capricorn is personified by the goat that climbs the steepest cliffs to gain worldly success. Capricorn is a resourceful sign, and those under its influence long for power and prestige. There is no one more ambitious than a Capricorn. They really do want to take the world by the horns. There are more spiritual goats, of course, but the aim of most Capricorns is fundamentally practical in nature. With them, there are no careless wanderings into fairyland. This mountain goat looks for a physical niche, and through some glorious contact by which they can achieve, their aim is to come up in the world no matter what it takes. This is the reason behind the motto, "For Capricorn I use." Since Saturn is their god, Capricorns are interested in what's solid, what can be seen, touched, or bought. Capricorns utilize their energies towards some concrete purpose rather than daydreams in the imagination. When Capricorns do indulge in dreams, they always dream big. They are insanely ambitious and often good-looking. Capricorns appear mature early in life and then grow younger and younger looking with each passing year. When the Capricorn card turns up in a reading, it denotes a time of diligence and hard work. This is a gaining in status and reputation. Whatever you're toiled over and especially sacrificed for, you're ready for splendid results to be revealed. Keep in mind this gain may be slow and systematic, but that you're heading towards something solid and lasting. You're about to meet all the right people who will back you and your goals. Some may be greater in status than you, but they will show you the ropes or support you in some substantial way. By all means, do not lose them. Capricorn is a sign of drive and ambition, therefore you may feel more driven than usual. In essence, this card is saying to put childish things away and take responsibility. Go for what you want in a systematic way. Beware of looking back and staying in the shadows. It's time to unleash your talents upon the world. Do not let up. Go out on a limb. If your question is to do with romance or relationships, then these take on a more serious tones. Matters should grow deeper and more committed. It could be that one partner is older, higher in social rank, or will be a guide or teacher to the other. It may also mean that one is more serious than the other. Since Capricorn is a methodical earth sign, your outcome may progress gradually, unfolding at its own pace. You won't be able to rush matters. Everything must happen in its own time, not yours. Career and your profession are also important, and you can expect to see changes there too. This card can indicate skeletal problems such as broken or porous bones, spinal issues, strains, or even dental issues. Make sure you are getting enough calcium and vitamin D. Capricorn is the sign of time, maturity, and age, so if you develop an illness, it will be one that has been coming for a long time. You could be awaiting an outcome or judgment, so look to the surrounding cards to determine whether it will be a good one. You may also be waiting for the answer or resolution to something long overdue. With the Capricorn card, you can be assured the answer will be just and fair, especially if you have worked hard and kept your nose to the grindstone. With this card in a spread, you will not be defeated. Ambition, goals, the outdoors, mountainous areas, heights, cliffs, skyscrapers, publicity, fame, and infamy, the father or person who plays a fatherly role, judges, how others view you, power, using force, meeting people in power, the boss, bureaucrats, management, prudence, stubbornness, staying the course, determination, the payoff, willpower, staying strong, pewter and other metals, rubies and onyx, the colors black, brown, and gray. Procrastination, antiques, time's measure, old age, old world traditions, world map, work. Not being given any slack, karma, fatalism, tough luck, dwelling in the past, looking back not forward, using what you have, pine trees, dry wit, teachers and teaching, toothache, rheumatism and other aches and pains, loyalty, commitment, and marriage. The corresponding tarot card is the Devil. And key ideas are ambition, playing by the rules, moving up in the world, fame, infamy, and your bones. Okay, so that kind of gives you an idea right there of some of the things. Like I said, 22 being master builders, it was talking about Saturn and working hard towards things. And so that might be a theme that you might be working on throughout the year, is working hard towards your goals, building up things, that kind of thing. Let's look at this other oracle card here and see what we have here. This is number 4, happy family. So one of the things you might be working hard towards is just having a happy family, or working towards building things for your family. This kind of corresponds to the Ten of Cups, but that's really good, because it also said, you know, things that you've been working towards, you might get your rewards on throughout the year. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's see what other energies we have this year that we might be dealing with. We got the 10 of Pentacles. Oh, that's so interesting with the 9 of Cups. Oh my goodness. All right, the Lovers. Oh wow. The 3 of Pentacles. The 2 of Pentacles. Okay, finances look really good this year, you guys. The Sun card. Okay, you guys are going to be working hard, but it's going to be worth it. The 2 of Swords. The High Priestess. The Chariot. Oh yeah. The 10 of Pentacles again. So we have 2 of those. The Queen of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, wow, what an interesting thing we've got going here. All right, first of all, with what the Capricorn card said and with what these cards say, it looks like you guys are going to be working hard this year. It's going to be steadily work, but it's going to pay off financially and with your family as well, because, you know, we have the Lovers card, which is a wonderful, you know, coming together here. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles twice, and whenever that shows up, whenever anything shows up double in a reading, I just see that as kind of just extra confirmation or extra going forward. We have the 9 of Cups, which is showing, you know, getting ready for a party, you know, wonderful emotional happiness, you know, celebrating all the hard work that you've done and gone through. The 3 of Pentacles does denote the hard work that you might be doing. You might be an apprentice to someone, or learning a new trade, or finishing up some studies. Those kinds of things might be something that you might be dealing with this year. But I also kind of see, too, we have the 2 of Pentacles and the 2 of Swords. So you have quite a few 2s here, which are partnerships and coming together. So I really feel like this might be your family partnerships, you know, your partner in your family, your significant other. I think that might be something that you're going to be dealing with and working towards this year, and combining your energies together for that. You also might be having to balance between work and your family life, because it is going to be a hard work year, but also one in which you need to take stock in your family and work with your family. And it's really cool here because you got the Chariot, which just means that you're going on this journey. You know, I think that just keeps showing the hard work that you're going to be working on this year. And even the High Priestess here, you notice how she has her laptop there, and she's even hard at work, you know, doing things. And the High Priestess is full of magic. So it's almost like the work that you're doing this year is going to turn to magic for you. It's going to bring out the sun. It's going to bring out, you know, the family happiness, the coming together, all of these things. So your hard work is going to pay off this year. For 2021, it's definitely going to pay off. It's going to be worth it. We have the Knight of Pentacles, which means, you know, he might be bringing you some good finances or other things. It was interesting how the Capricorn card talked about your health issues, that if you did get sick, it would be something coming to you for a long time. But I don't see that as being a problem this year so much, because we have the Knight of Pentacles, and the Knights, they deal with our body and our health and businesses and things like that. But being the Knight, I see him as steady, hard worker, and patient. So I just kind of see that as, once again, your steady, hard work, not so much as being any health issues coming. And then we have the Queen of Swords, and she's honest, she's principled, she's objective, and all that. And I just kind of see that, once again, as the hard work involved with this year. I think that's just going to be something you're going to buckle down and go, okay, I need to get busy on this. I need to work towards this goal, or I need to do these things this year. And I just kind of feel like that is your particular stress for the year. It's your particular, what you're going to be focusing on is getting this hard work done. And it will be for your family and for finances and for other stuff. And don't forget to balance the two, because we do have a lot of two energies here, and make sure that you do balance the hard work with your family and other things, even though you are working hard for them. Make sure that you balance that. Make sure that, because that is an issue throughout the year. I kind of see with the Two of Swords here, you're going to be deciding whether, to do one or the other at certain times. And, we have the Two of Pentacles. Once again, it's a balancing act. So I feel like that's something that you're going to be working on this year, or that you're going to have to pay attention to this year. So make sure that you do that. Definitely work hard, because it's going to pay off for you, and it's something you are going to be focusing on this year, and something you're going to want to do. But you definitely want to make sure you balance that with your family life as well, and make sure that you have the Ten of Pentacles energy going here, and the Lover's energy, and all that energy focus as well. Okay, so we've got that. Let's go over to our charms. And then also, we do oracle spheres. Basically, you can ask a yes or no type of question, one that generally we give it a yes, no, maybe, probable, some kind of answer like that. So not an open-ended question, but some sort of question. It could be about your year. It could be about a specific time frame, coming up, like, will blank happen in January or something. It could be like that. Just a question that kind of is something that you want an answer to, or you kind of want to know where you're going. And you can be thinking of that question, and we'll do that here coming up. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our charms in case there's any other energies or advice or other messages that might come through for you for the upcoming year that you might focus on. Okay, we got a few letters. We have an F, X, P, N, and I. Okay, I definitely see the word fix. So you might be fixing things, dealing with working on things for sure. I also see FX, which is special effects in the movie business. And by seeing that, I almost kind of think of illusions once again. But with your Capricorn card and other stuff, I don't think you guys are going to be drawn by illusions too much. So I think we're okay there. We also have the saw here. Once again, that denotes the hard work that you're going to be doing. This might even be manual labor. You might be doing a lot of manual labor or working on, things. But I just see it mostly as just the hard work that you're going to be doing this year. We do have a couple of words here. We've got enough and Wonderland. Now that's really cool, because I see enough as you're going to have enough this year. You're going to have what you need because you are going to work so hard. You are going to have the things that you need. But it's interesting how we have Wonderland too, because, you almost think of going to Disney World or some other, place like that. So this would be a kind of a magical time for you guys. I mentioned earlier about the High Priestess, and how, you'll be hard at work and things will almost be magical for you guys, or things will turn into magic for you. And I kind of see that here. And that's interesting too, because we also have some of these other charms that might denote almost the same thing, because we have the mermaid and we have the swan. Both of those are almost transformational energies, like you might be transforming into this new role or this hard work, or things in your life will finally transform into more of something you've been wishing or hoping for or wanting. Because with the swan, I always see the ugly duckling turning into the swan. With the mermaid, I see her as, she wanted to become human. And so they both, got, what they wanted and some good things out of what they wanted, and it was almost magical. And I kind of see that that's kind of the way things might work out for you this year. That things might just kind of magically go the way you want them to go because of your hard work and the things that you've done. We also have the Cupid. which is interesting with the Lovers card here too, because if you guys are not in a relationship yet, or if your relationship is not more serious, I think it might become so more this year. So that's something to be on the lookout for. With the Lovers card and the happy family, it's possible you guys might get married this year, uh, or show a more deeper commitment than what you've done so far. So, you've got that possibly to look forward to. Um, we have the fan and the bow here, and those are kind of like dress up, like fancy. I think of fancy balls and parties and, things like from the 1800s or something. But you think of all this finery and fancy, parties and stuff. And you had the 9 of cups there, getting ready for a bountiful feast party or wwhatever. And so I think you guys are going to have maybe some invites to some really special parties, maybe dealing with work. You might, have some parties or some other things, or you might have a reason to celebrate, or it might have to do with the wedding thing that I was talking about earlier. You might actually, dress up in your finery and have, a wonderful celebration there as well. So it's kind of the things I'm seeing there. And we also have the wise old owl. I think you guys are going to be very wise with stuff this year. Like I said, since you're going to be working hard, I think you're going to be smart with what you're doing. I think the things that you are participating in and that you work hard on this year are going to be things that will accomplish your goals and what you want to do. They're not going to be just frivolous stuff. And you're going to be able to do that with your wise old owl. So there you go there. All right, now let's go on to our oracle spheres and see what answers. Now, just like I like to pick out different piles for the different astrological signs, I like to have different stands for the different answers so that we can kind of divide up the answers some, so other people's answers may not skew yours as much. Okay, I mean, this is a general reading and there will be a lot of people watching it, and so it's possible the answer won't pertain to you, but we try to make it so that you've got a good shot at it anyway. So we've got 4 piles here. We got, or stands. We got 1 blue, 2 red, 3 yellow, and 4 green. And so be thinking of your question and we'll get our answers. Okay, number 1 blue is a no. Goodness. Number 2 red. We would like an answer for number 2 red. Every once in a while they take a long time to come out. Sometimes they're really quick and other times they take a bit. Ah, there we got one. Okay, number 2 red is very likely. Number 3 yellow is a no. And number 4 green is another very likely. So we have no, very likely, no, and very likely. That's rather symmetrical. All right, guys, that is our reading for Pile 1 for Aries for the year 2021. I really hope you had some good messages out of this video. Please give the video a thumbs up. Also, share the video and the channel with your friends and family. Put it out there on all the social medias. We would really appreciate it. And leave comments in the comments section. We are not monetized through YouTube, and so all of those things are going to help the channel grow, and I greatly appreciate you guys doing that. Very, very, very much. So all of those things are very useful to us. It lets YouTube decide to share our channel with other people. If you'd like to donate to the channel, there is a link in the description to PayPal that you can do that with. And you can also check out our other videos on the channel. We have lots of different tarot pick-a-pile readings. Many of them are timeless, so some of those might be of interest to you. We also have flip-throughs of different tarot decks so you can see what they look like. We also have an informative series on how to read tarot. And also coming up soon, we're going to start also be doing rune numerology readings as well. So if you would like to check those out, we would greatly appreciate that. Okay, guys, We hope you have a wonderful 2021, and we look forward to seeing you in future readings. May the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 2 Aries. Welcome to your reading. Those of you that chose the yellow stone here. So we're going to put that off to the side. We do have a Black Moon astrology card that we'll be going through here, as well as our tarot cards. We also are going to be doing charms later on, as well as the oracle sphere, so you can be thinking of a yes or no type of question that you might want an answer to. But let's go ahead and just get the general energies, what you might be dealing with, what you might be able to expect through the year of 2021. And so let's take a look here. Our first card is Part of Fortune Increase. Okay, and it's number 45. And I'm going to go ahead and read out of the book here because there's a lot of information on these cards, and I don't want you to miss something that might be important to you here. So we're going to go ahead and read what the book says here. Fortune favors the brave, attributed to Terence. In early mythology, Fortuna was the daughter of Jupiter, the god of good luck. She is a Roman goddess of destiny and bounty. Her name in Latin is Fere and means she who brings forth. The part of fortune is just one of the lots among several used in astrology. However, it is considered the most important one. Lots are also known as Arabic parts. After the fall of the Roman Empire, Western astrology picked up the Arabian and Persian practice of reading lots in a horoscope. Lots are based upon mathematical calculations. It's the distance between 2 points, with the degree of the rising sign or your ascendant added. The part of fortune is the same distance from the longitude of the ascendant as the moon lies from the sun. So if the sun and moon are conjunct, that is, almost perfectly aligned, then the part of fortune will fall on the ascendant. If, on the other hand, the sun and moon are in opposition to each other, then the part of fortune will fall on the descendant or cusp of the 7th house. Many look upon the part of fortune as moon energy, which means the talents and gifts it endows upon an individual are both nascent and unconscious. It is as if its powers are waiting beneath the surface of water, and when that water is stirred by action or thought, those talents and gifts emerge. When the part of fortune card turns up in a reading, it means a time when things begin to flow more easily, and you will have your success. But success and how it will come about and how long it will take will very much depend upon the surrounding cards. You may want to take advantage of this time of easy flow to resolve conflicts. It is time to heal that toxic situation which has been so difficult to overcome. Since the part of fortune mostly means gifts, you may want to take on another area of study or master another art form. You are more creative and in tune with your imagination as well as your emotions. This card also means that benefits will suddenly be placed in your path. Since fortune is fate, it will very well seem as if you've just stumbled onto them. Disagreements are improbable, but if they happen, you will likely take the high road. Another area that looks extremely fortunate is anything to do with public relations or promotion. This is a period of recognition and achievement. Your overall popularity is increasing, and some type of recognition is on its way. It is also a favorable time for learning, teaching, or taking exams. You may want to do good and honor others. Through this, you will gain respect and opportunity. You will heartily share what you have and gain for yourself with others. Injustices of any kind will challenge and rouse you into action. If your question is in regards to romance or any other type of relationship, know that the situation is a fated one. It is meant for both of you to help fulfill each other's calling. This will not be a relationship you can ever move away from easily. Destiny is involved, so together you are called to achieve and master higher things that would be more difficult had you not met each other. In this, there will be challenges, even though the love will always remain. Your desire to fly is strong at the moment. Any shackles previously placed are being smashed and you are experiencing a release. Moving ahead is what this card is all about. Madame Fortune smiles upon you. Part of Fortune card in brief. Inherent talents, the gift one is born with, what comes easily, what is natural, instincts, perception, desires, success, gains, where one has good fortune, happiness, wealth, creativity, what flows in easily, having your needs provided for, encountering success, increase, generosity, openness, public recognition, acclaim, good health, being virtuous, habits, patterns, sensation, a sense of belonging, and gifts of childhood, family issues, cycles, finding balance, anxiety, fear of failure, taking on more than you can handle, repairing what needs to be fixed, working off the grid, being responsible solely for your own victory. The corresponding tarot card is the Ten of Pentacles. And the key idea is where you are lucky, fortune, karmic triggers, destiny, and fate. Okay, so that tells us quite a bit about some of the things that you might be dealing with this year. It sounds like it's going to be a really good year off the bat. Let's see what the tarot cards and other cards have to say here too. All right, number 25, deceit. Now that's interesting that card shows up here with this card here, because we were talking about fate and destiny and things that are fated. So it's very possible there will be some deceit you might be dealing with this year. But it seems like it will probably turn out pretty well, but it was fated that this happened and that you had to deal with that. So that's kind of interesting that showed up here with this reading. All right, let's see what else we've got. We've got the Page of Pentacles. Wow, Aries, you guys are going to have an interesting year this year. The Queen of Pentacles. So far, it looks like financially in both readings is very good. The World card. Oh, yeah, very much so. I'm going to move this one up a little bit, so we have room so you can see all the cards. We have more cards than normal since it's a yearly reading. We have the Five of Wands. The Page of Wands. The King of Pentacles. Oh my goodness, so many pentacles. The Nine of Swords. The Death card. The Empress. The Four of Swords. The Queen of Pentacles again. And the Wheel. Wow. Okay. That's interesting with this Deceit card. And then the Part of Fortune. It looks like you guys might be dealing with some stuff at the beginning of the year and then it turning around. And honestly, I'm not sure which way it's going to go. I'd like to be able to tell you that, and maybe I'll get some more insight here in a minute. But here's what it looks like to me. It looks like there's going to be maybe some deceit, maybe some fighting. There's going to be some passions aroused. There's going to be things that you're worried about or upset about, possibly not sleeping well. But then, after those cards, okay, so I'm thinking this might be early on in the year, even though the Part of Fortune, was the first card I turned over. I'm thinking because of the overwhelming number of other cards here that tend to support this card, I think that this is relatively early. It might even be something you're dealing with right now and we'll be moving into going forward. But to me it looks like, because we've got the Death card and we've got the Nine of Swords. So we've got these cards here that are kind of showing some sort of conflict, some sort of fighting, some sort of something not going really, really well. And with the Deceit card up there as well, I'm kind of thinking that it might be relationship related. It might be, maybe a relationship has ended. It's interesting, the Part of Fortune said that if you are in a relationship, it was a fated one. It's something you should be in. But it also might mean that you might get into a fated relationship this year, because your relationship might be ending because of some issues and problems and things that you've had. Because we do have the Four of Swords, which is a little bit more of a time to rest after these battles kinds of things. And then the Wheel of Fortune, or the Wheel card, which goes great with the Part of Fortune because the wheel will change. So basically what that means is okay, you've had the strife, the conflict, the struggles, the problems, but then the wheel will change and flip that around, And now the more fortunate uh, times will come. And that's why I think that this is earlier on. Like I said, it might even be something you're dealing with towards the end of 2020 as well. But I think early on, this might be something you have to deal with the first couple, 3 months of the year. You might be dealing with all that. But then once you kind of take a break and heal from that, then things will change more into your favor. And it looks a lot in your favor as far as finances go, because of, we have two Queens of Pentacles here, which the Queen is so cool. She's generous and caring. She's good at business. She likes luxuries and other things. And so it was interesting how the part of fortune also mentioned work. But it mentioned things coming easily to you and that you would be able to share your fortune with other people. And with the Queen of Pentacles, that shows that as well, that, she's able to give out things to her subjects or whatever because, she has it and it flows to her kind of easily. So that's pretty cool. And that's doubled up. So that's a lot more energy. I think that might even represent you guys in this particular reading, that, that's kind of you. But we also have the King of Pentacles, which goes along with the Queen so well, because, he's also, he's ambitious, and he's practical, though, and he's a provider. He's also sensual, which is interesting because, like I said, I think in love, some of you guys might be having some issues early on, but you may run across somebody, and maybe the charms will kind of help clarify that a little bit. We'll see. But I think maybe a new love might be, things will turn around, maybe in your love life, and that kind of thing. So that's interesting that he's there as well, to go along with that. But we also have the Page of Pentacles, and Pentacles deals so much with earthly matters, finance, business, our health, all these earthly type of matters. And we have a lot of Pentacle cards here, which generally would show, good fortune, which with the part of fortune, I think that definitely denotes that. And pages are usually the ones that kind of bring the messages to us or bring us the stuff. They're also the young ones who go out on adventure and they have fresh ideas and they're fearless and that kind of thing. So it's possible that you'll have new, fresh ideas come to you that will help you financially. Like I said, with the part of fortune saying things, will come to you relatively easily. And you do have the Empress card, which she is very intuitive, and she knows quite a bit. And so it might just seem like the answer might just come to you. You might just get it. And it's interesting with the Four of Swords, almost meditation might help you get those answers. And so, getting away from this energy here is definitely going to help you. So we also have the Page of Wands. So that's another youthful energy. And Wands deals with things that we're passionate about. And it kindles a new fire and creativity and that kind of thing. And so with you having both pages here, I'm thinking that your creative juices might flow quite a bit more. And the part of fortune also mentioned that as well. So I think your creative juices might flow more this year. You might, be able to put things more into practice. You might come up with new ideas, new solutions for things at work, that kind of thing. And it will help you out. Your fortune will change because of that as well. Because you also have the World card. And the World just basically means you have the world in the palm of your hands. You have pretty much everything you need. The world is, represented by the four seasons and the different types of animals in the animal kingdom. And so it just basically means everything. Okay. And so it's reaching the pinnacle of the top. And you have a lot of cards that kind of show that as well. So the Death card is showing an ending to some things. But then the Wheel of Fortune is showing your fortune changing as well as the part of fortune. So I kind of see that's kind of how the year should go, or what you're expecting, to go on. If you happen to be in a really, really good time right now, which I don't see that as being the case for most of you, I just really don't. But if that happens to be it, at the beginning of the year, if things are going really smoothly for you and really awesome and things are pouring in and really easy, it is possible at some point, a few months down the road from that, that the circumstances will change and you might have a little bit of this conflict and a little bit of these worries. But even if that happens, even if I still don't see those lasting more than 2 or 3 months. So, maybe your will change a couple of times during the year if that's the case. But I just don't see that as something that you're going to have to deal with more than a couple, 3 months out of the year. And I think almost all of you, it's going to be early on. And it's going to be within the first 2, 3 months of 2021. And then after that, things should shift and change. Okay? Let's go ahead and get our charms. And then we also have our Oracle Sphere question. So basically, you can think of a yes or no type of question that you want an answer to. It can pertain to the year in some way, shape, or form, or it could be just something you've been thinking about that you kind of want an answer to. It just needs to kind of have an answer that's like a yes, no, maybe, probably, something like that, rather than an open-ended type of answer. But we'll do our charms first. Okay. Let's see if we have any other extra messages, clarifiers, or anything else that you might be dealing with throughout the year, or other things. Okay. We have the number 6 there, which is great because whenever I see the number 6, I always think of the 6 of Pentacles, where he's giving out his fortune and his money. And we talked about that earlier as well, as that was something that was able, they were able to do, that you would be able to do that when you start getting your fortune. So that's pretty cool. Okay, and then we also have some cards here. Let's turn those over and see what they are. We have the 10 of Hearts. Oh, that's great. And the 2 of Hearts, those are Cups cards. And the 2 of Hearts is almost like the Lover card in a way. It's coming together of, 2 people with cups. So once again, romance might be really good for you at some point in time during the year, especially if you had a rocky one earlier on. And then the 10 of Cups is a happy family, or you almost think of living happily ever after, because usually the card, has a rainbow with it. It's kind of magical. And then we also have the Jack of Hearts, which is kind of like the Page of Cups, or the Knight. So once again, another page type energy. So that just, to me, just shows more of the idealism, of the dreamer type personality, the innovative personality that you might be having through the year with all the pages showing up. So I think that's just something you're going on there. Okay, letter-wise, we have D, T, O, and an E. Okay. Not sure what that might spell specifically, but you guys might come up with some good words. They might be initials. They might mean something to you specifically. A lot of times I, figure those might be specific messages for specific people on what they see in them. So I kind of like that. Okay. We also have willpower. Okay. So I think willpower might be pretty important this year, which makes sense. Because if you do have this other energy going on, you're going to need some willpower to sustain that and know that things are going to change and things are going to get better. So willpower might be really important for you this year for that reason. You also have the 4-leaf clover. So once again, fortune's on your side. It's a lucky year for you. Things are just going to, show up. We also have the fan, which to me sometimes will show innovation, but in this case, because it's with like the shoe here, I think of fanciness and fancy baubles and other things. So I think fortune-wise, things are going to shine on you pretty well, and you'll be able to get the happy, frippery, frilly kind of stuff. We also have a heart with the moon and Saturn in it, and I really like that because to me, that shows there might be some hidden depths to a relationship that you might get with the moon in there. Saturn also is long-term. working at things from a long pace, a long time. So with the part of fortune mentioning that if you had a relationship, it would be faded and that it might be hard to get out of or do whatever, it's very possible you guys are going to have that type of relationship show up this year. So that's something for you to think about too. And then we also have the butterfly, which I just see as being able to go out there and, get what you dream about, get what you desire. It's also a transformation type of energy because caterpillars turn into butterflies, and so it's a big transformation, which with you having the death card, I see that transformation is happening for you this year as well. Things are going to transform from the way they've been. All right, let's get our oracle spheres here. We like to have 4 different answers. That way you can pick which stand you would like your answer to be on. So we have 4 different stands, 1 blue, 2 red, 3 green, and 4 yellow. So be deciding where you'd like your answer to show up and be thinking about your question, and we will get our answers. Okay, number 1, blue, is a very likely. Number 2, red. Is a probable. Number 3, green. Is a not likely. And number 4, yellow, is a very likely again. All right, so 1 green's very likely, 2 red's probable, 3 is not likely, and 4 yellow is very likely. All right, guys, that's our answers to our Oracle Sphere question. I really hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Please give it a thumbs up, leave comments in the comments section, share this video with your friends and family, or the channel with your friends and family. Put it out there on all the different social medias that you can think of, and just share it. That would be greatly appreciated. We are not monetized through YouTube, and it's very much appreciated for you to do that because that'll help the channel grow quite a bit. And so all of those things are just, we just love them so much, and thank you in advance. Also, check out our other videos on the channel. We have lots of tarot pick-a-pile readings. A lot of them are timeless, so there might be some out there that you would like to watch on that. There's also videos on how to read tarot cards. There's videos on the flip-throughs of the different decks, so you can see what the cards look like in those. And also coming up, not too much longer in the future, we're going to also start to be doing rune readings with numerology. So hopefully that might be something that you'll be interested in as well. Okay, guys, we look forward to seeing you in future videos. I really, really, really hope that you have a great year 2021, and we'll see you again in the future. May the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, Aries pile 3, those of you that chose the blue stone. We're going to find out what your general energies are for 2021 and what you might be dealing with and some things like that. We have the Black Moon Astrology card as well as some tarot cards that we're going to look at. We also have our charms and our oracle spheres, so you can be thinking of a question that you might like an answer to as well. So let's go ahead and do this one first. We've got number 33, 9th house, faith. Okay, that's an interesting card. I like that one. All right, I'm going to go ahead and read out of the booklet for this because there's a lot with these cards. And I want to make sure you get all of the messages that might be possible for us to get out of that. So I'm going to go ahead and read a couple of pages here. All right, we travel, some of us forever, to seek other states, other lives, other souls. And this was Anais Nin. Obstacles are being lifted. The 9th house in astrology is the house position for the sign Sagittarius, and it's ruled by the planet Jupiter, the planet of openness, luck, and expansion. This area of the traditional horoscope wheel is the house of travel, philosophy, high-mindedness, and also religion. The 9th house represents a search for meaning through established structures. Things to do with government and religion may come about whenever the 9th house is included. Destiny, fate, and karma all come into play, as well as your view of what God may or may not be. It is the house of erudite knowledge, higher learning, lawyers, doctors, and astrologers. Hello, Marty. It is most definitely of the higher mind and our need to unite with something greater. In this way, the ninth house represents churches and schools, especially ones that are old, established, and scholarly. Since it opposes the third house of communication and writing, the ninth house represents publishing and influences through the written word. It speaks of a forum for written ideas and concepts, also of joining a reputable literary world. So this house is important in the charts of writers or anyone who wishes to bring their ideas into form, usually planet-wide. It is a house of open ranges, journeying, and opportunity. The ninth house also represents esoteric matters like psychics, psychic fairs, the New Age, counterculture gatherings, or places where offbeat people gather together for some visionary cause. It also represents the relevance of obtaining psychic information. The Rosicrucians, an esoteric organization based on ancient structures, are symbolized by the ninth house. With this card, it is time to consider your impending plans in the broadest terms. It means you will have to go outside of your ordinary life to achieve your goals. Long-distance travels, journeys, and voyages to unknown places may figure in regarding your question. The ninth house is the house of explorers and pilgrims, where there is a quiet quest and a destination. It is where we seek guidance and understanding. The possibility of returning to school and furthering your education is likely in the near future. The most mundane meaning behind the ninth house card is traveling to distant places. Usually when this card appears, the reason is for knowledge or for broadening of understanding. There will be a desire to visit places of arcane wisdom and knowledge where you can expect the history behind the area to be very well documented. The journey will be an uncharted one of deep or mysterious exploration. Scriptures or religious books may figure in. There will be longing to connect with something greater than the individual self. Occasionally, this card indicates a temporary disconnect from close family, where you depart from your known life into another one as a pilgrim or a seeker. The Church of Rome is represented by the ninth house card and also represents alternative religions like the modern paganism, Wicca, Asatru, and so on. If your question is about love, one or the other person needs freedom. There won't be commitment anytime soon. In short, this card indicates that you are about to depart on an important journey. It may be an outward voyage, it may be an inward excursion. Either way, you will be changed through the process. This card has to do with what has been tried and tested and what is already established. No matter how expansive or broad-minded, it will be rooted in the traditional. Ninth house card in brief. Travel, shipping, long journeys, passengers, a sense of adventure, exploration, new frontiers, traveling outside of yourself, spiritual journeys, relationships with foreigners, understanding other cultures, philosophy, a common mysticism, occult explorations, esoteric knowledge, mysterious wisdom, visions, astrology, divination, the older forms, science and scientific institutions, Ivy League colleges and universities, professors, teaching, old churches, temples, and courts, documents, Bibles, religious books and text, publishing and publishing houses, editors, magazines and books, card games, vision boards, the old world or holy lands, priests, nuns, and the holy people, prayer and asking for prayer, grace, spiritual protection, religion, but usually not the fundamental kind, religious ceremonies, horses, dogs, and livestock, good or bad luck. The corresponding tarot card is Three of Wands. And the key ideas are media, publishing, long-distance travel, education, churches, divination, and astrology. Okay, that is very interesting. And Marty Boy has decided to totally take up our area here. And I may have to move him to make sure we can get our cards. Okay, guys, sorry about that. I think I've managed to convince him to go somewhere else for a while. He loves to have his picture taken. He's sort of a ham. All right, guys, so let's go on with our reading here. Now, as the card ninth house shows, you guys might be going on some sort of spiritual journey this year, or dealing with the government or other things like that. So there's a lot of little things that might happen here. We'll look at the other cards too and see what other energies we have going on. Number 34, door to personal healing and happiness. Oh, and I love that with the rainbow and everything else. Once again, I feel like you guys, you might be exploring your faith at this time. Like I said, it deals with other things, astrology. You might be learning astrology some more. You might go back to school and learn some other things. So that might be something that you're dealing with. But basically, you're going to be going through a doorway into a new you. You're going to be exploring a new way of looking at things, or a new way of life, or exploring ways to help make your life change. Like I said, education might be part of it, traveling, learning, working with your religion, other things like that. So that might be a real big thing this year. Okay, we have the Star card. We have the Ten of Wands. Okay. Definitely, yeah. Six of Wands. Okay, yeah, you guys are going to definitely be dealing with your spiritual thoughts. Oh, my goodness gracious. Well, that was a quick little walk through. Him and the puppy dog are having a good time. Okay, I always think when he shows up in a reading that it's kind of almost a spiritual thing anyway, and that's kind of funny that your guys' reading is going that way. The Nine of Pentacles, oh, very, very much so. Okay, the Two of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, definitely a new journey. The World card, the Moon, the Hanged Man, and the King of Cups. Okay, yeah. For sure, I really feel like you guys are going to be going on a spiritual journey this year. You're going to be learning what you think about the world and spirit and God and, you know, all of those things. Annabeth, honey, don't do that. You're going to be going through all of those things, as well as, and it's a new path for you guys. It's a new worldly path. It's also a new emotional path for you. This is going to help you get more healing and feeling better about yourself and life. Maybe you've gone through a few things recently, but you're going to be able to connect with spirit this year. The Hanged Man shows that. You notice how the reason why he's hanging like this is partly to get new enlightenment. He almost always has a halo or a bright light around his head, and the idea is that he's looking at things from a new perspective and gaining insight, and that's kind of what you guys are going to be doing. Little one, stop doing that, honey. Okay. There's like disturbances going on outside. I'm so sorry, you guys, for all the interruptions. I know that can be kind of a pain. Okay. So many of these cards are showing a spiritual journey and connecting with spirit, and also creativity and some energies like that. But you notice how we've got the Ten of Wands, and in this particular one, you know, he's gathered up all of his wands and he's on a journey, but he looks like he's wearing almost monk type robes. You know, he's walking a lonely path and all, and I get the feeling, you almost get the feeling of somebody that's been on a spiritual journey. Somebody who went out collecting the stuff on his own, and he's been able to contemplate and think, and now he's on his way back. And the Wands cards definitely deal with our connection with spirit, and also our things that we're passionate about. And so I feel like also with the Six of Wands, you notice how he's coming back with the laurel wreath from battle. So somebody, you know, you're going to be able to tap into that energy. The Nine of Pentacles, she's a very spiritual type of card, Mother Earth type energy, also the Divine Feminine and other things like that. And it did say you might be interested in alternative faiths or alternative things, possibly astrology, possibly, you know, other things. And that can kind of be shown with these cards as well with the Nine of Pentacles. With the two aces here, that's just showing a new journey. The Ace of Pentacles deals with the way you think about the world and our earthly things, our abundance and things that we care about that way. And then the Ace of Cups and the King of Cups together, I find that so interesting because it's the beginning and the end of the series. And the Ace is showing that you can have overflowing emotions and abundance and other things like that. And it's also aces are always new spirits, new ideas, new ways of thinking about things. And then the King of Cups, he's reached the top in the thing of an emotional journey. So it's going to be a very emotional journey for you. And this is going to help fulfill you emotionally as well. The Ace of Cups shows basically having everything emotionally overflowing constantly. And the King of Cups, he like I said, he's at the top of all of it, and he's wise, because he's gone through all this and he's learned things, and he knows how to deal with things between his head and his heart, and you'll be able to do that as well, and also between earthly matters and spiritual matters too, and that's kind of what the two aces here are showing as well. He also can be a good counselor and advisor, and so there might be somebody come in that you can talk to about your spiritual journey that is kind of represented by the King of Cups as well. But we also have the Moon card, which once again is kind of hidden secrets. It's also kind of the divine feminine energy as well. And so, like I said, you guys might turn to some alternative types of looking at things. We also have the Star card, which to me represents astrology in of itself. So you might study astrology. It also reminds me of the Aquarius symbol as well, because of her dealing with the jugs of water there. And so I really think that new ideas, new expressions, you guys are going to be exploring your faith a lot this year. I really feel like that's going to be a big focus this year on what you're doing. And you're going to check out new things. You're going to look at new things. You're going to see what you think about different things, which is great because it's wonderful to go on this journey because it's showing, it's going to help heal you and give you some happiness because once you find what you're looking for, it's interesting with the Two of Cups here. The Two of Cups is a spiritual joining in a lot of ways. It's coming together, and I feel like you might be going on this journey with somebody else, or you might come across somebody that will help you through this journey. That's going to be a really good thing there. And then the Four of Pentacles often will show a hoarding energy or wanting to hold on to things. And so there might be a time in which you're going to want to hold on to your old beliefs and old systems and old ideas, or somebody's going to want you to hold on to those more traditional things. And the ninth house is very much tradition. It is very much dealing with traditional ideas, values, and other stuff. And so you might want to hang on to that after you explore these things, but if you do, it'll be because that's what makes you happy to do so. But if somebody's trying to force you to do that, that you should be able to break away from that. You also have the World card, and this particular World card is really awesome because it reminds me of all these other spirit things. She's up in the clouds, and she's, basically has magic in her hands, and she's floating above. And the World card usually represents pretty much reaching that final journey, that final spiritual journey, as a matter of fact. A lot of times it represents that. And so I really feel like this year is definitely going to be a spiritual journey for you. And you're going to do that. You might travel some in relation to that journey. But that, you're going to be exploring different things, either, in your heart and in amongst yourself, or out in the world as well. It's possible that you might travel to do this as well. So that is definitely, I think, something, like I said, there might be some education involved. You might decide to go to school or to learn some of these things. You might actually, some of you guys might actually be learning to go into, the priesthood, or learning how, like I said, to be an astrologer or, a tarot reader or other things like that. That's possible that might be something that you're going to end up doing this year. So yeah, that's kind of what we're seeing here is that whole spiritual thing definitely going on. All right, let's pull some charms in case there's any other messages or clarifying messages or ideas. We also have our oracle sphere, so you can be thinking of your yes or no type of question that has a yes or no type of answer to it, and it could pertain to the whole year or just something you would like to know a little bit of something about. An answer to, something you've been thinking about or wanting to know. So you can be thinking of that, but we'll go ahead and do our charms first. All right, let's see what extra little messages and other things we might have in our charms. Ooh, lots of letters. Wow. Okay, we got a C, V, X, K. That reminds me of like Roman letters and numerals of ancient stuff. S, I, H, G, N, and F. Okay, wow. I see the word sign right off the bat, so look for signs and symbols this year. Signs might direct you in the right path, the right way. That's something that you're going to be dealing with, or I think you might look into. Like I said, I kind of saw some old Roman stuff here, so you might look at some ancient type of teachings and some other things like that. I'm going to go ahead and say the letters out loud again, because that way you all can, I know they're hard to see, that way you all can go through and maybe come up with your own words, because if there's words that you see out of this, it might be special messages for you. So we've got a C, V, X, K, S, I, G, N, and H, and F. Okay? And if you guys come up with some words, hey, put them down in the description. It might be helpful to other people to see those words as well. So definitely do that. That would be good. Let's see. We've got some tarot cards here. Let's see what we got. We've got the 10 of Pentacles and the Jack of Hearts. Okay, so a lot of what you're dealing with this year is dealing with your head and your heart and dealing with earthly matters and spiritual matters and looking between the two and what you should go for and that kind of thing. I really kind of feel like that's a lot of the energy going on here. Hence the Pentacles and the Cups card both at the same time. You're working towards your earthly things, but your spiritual things as well. And I think once you get your spiritual things worked out, your earthly things will follow suit and they'll just kind of merge together really well. So that's just kind of what we're looking at there. It's interesting how we have the Star Kitty and the Moon with the star. I really feel like, and the Mermaid, I really feel like those, and the Seashell with the pearl in it, I think all of those have to do with looking into your intuition, looking at hidden depths, looking at things that are a little bit more mystical, looking at things that are not traditional, not normal, not regular, just to see what they're like. Because, the sea has hidden depths and hidden knowledge and treasures and things to find. And so does the moon and the key looking at the stars. So I really feel like studying those things this year for you or looking at those things might really help bring some truths to you that you would like to have. We do have the Love and a heart, winged heart. The winged heart to me often will symbolize our guardian angels or spirit guides or other things like that looking out for us, and the word love going along with that, kind of shows that love that they have for you and that kind of thing. And also sometimes I see passed on loved ones here as well, and how they're looking out and kind of just a message to say hello and I love you kind of thing. So that's what those messages are about there. We also have the white rabbit, which I think of Alice in Wonderland, and I think I'm going on a brand new journey into the unknown and into the wild, crazy, weird things happening. And that's very much the type of journey you're going to have this year. You're going to be exploring unknown things, unusual things that you're not used to, things that kind of shake things up a bit. And the white rabbit, you're going to feel sometimes like you went down a rabbit hole. And I think that that's kind of where you're going this year with that. So that's kind of interesting that that showed up too, because you are going to be exploring hidden knowledge and hidden depths and hidden other things. It's whatever interests you, whatever strikes you. Like I said, it could be astrology, it could be numerology, it could be Ayurveda, it could be almost anything that's mystical or different, or other religions that are totally outside the ones that you're used to, like Wicca or things like that, or even Roman Catholicism, because we talked about the ninth house dealing with that church. That might be totally different for you as well, so it could be that way. So just those types of things. Look into the kind of things that interest you, because I really feel like it's going to be a focus this year. That's going to be something that you're going to want to spend some time on and journey through. All right, now let's look at our oracle spheres. What I like to do is, when you think of your yes/no question, you pick a stand for your answer to appear on. We have number 1 red, number 2 blue, number 3 yellow, and number 4 green. And then you go ahead and pick whichever stand you would like your answer to appear on. And then we'll get our answers and we'll see where we go from there. All right, number 1 is probable, red. Number 2, blue, is maybe. Number 3, yellow. Well, every time I think we have one, it goes away. Number 3, yellow, is a no. Number 4, green, is a not now. So that's not necessarily a yes or no. That just means that the time isn't right at this moment. Some things might have to change before that answer to change. So there you go. There's your answers for your question. I really hope you guys had some interesting messages out of this reading. I hope it resonated with you. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Share with all of your friends and family. Share this video, the channel. Put it out there on all the different social medias. That would be greatly appreciated. And leave comments in the comment section. Those are very useful to me. I really like to read those. And I get a lot of insight from that. All of those things help the channel grow. It helps YouTube to decide to share our video with other people. We are not monetized through YouTube, and we are still very small. So it's our way of growing. And so it's very much appreciated. I know we have to ask for it in every video, and that gets tiring, but that's what that's about. And so we really, really appreciate that. Hey, if you can check out the other videos on the channel, we have lots of timeless tarot readings on a lot of different topics that might interest you. We also have videos on how to read tarot. We have videos on the flip through of the different card decks, so you can see what they look like. We also, coming up in the near future, we're going to start doing rune readings with numeral readings as well with that, so you can be on the lookout for those if that's something that interests you. And we look forward to seeing you in future videos. May the stars guide your path. Bye-bye.